Hello and welcome to the CES 2017 edition of Spark Talks. In this episode, we will talk about the trends we saw at CES, from robots to augmented reality and more. Make sure to join the conversation by tweeting us at SparkPR with your questions and comments. My name is Vanessa Zucker. I am the marketing manager at Spark, and you can reach me at Vanessa_Zucker on Twitter. We're joined today by Cristina Dunning, Account Manager on the Digital Lifestyle team, who attended this year's show and last year's. You can reach her on Twitter at SillyChristina. So Cristina, tell us a little bit about what you do at Spark.
I'm an account manager on the Digital Lifestyle team, which works really closely with the consumer technology team. So CES is a natural fit for us to attend every year.
Oh yeah, for sure. What was your overall impression of the show this year?
I loved it, and a huge highlight for me was the presence of robots. I was blown away by how many that I saw. So if you think, there were over 3,500 presenting companies. There were thousands of different robots there presenting.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it was crazy, and within that, there were robots in every single vertical as well. So there were robots for your kitchen that could advise you on recipes and temperatures and how long to cook items. There were robots for children, even robots for babies. So these robots will help to teach different languages, record video to monitor your children. I was just shocked by the amount of robots in all the different verticals, and it really felt like we were in the future.
I wish I had a robot that taught me languages when I was a baby. Maybe I'd be a little better at Spanish.
Yeah, it was really funny. I actually took some video while I was on the floor, and I did send a video of a robot to my grandma, and her response was just hilarious. She wants one so bad to teach her how to cook. And
whoa!
Yeah, I think that they, CES is usually where we see emerging technologies, and a year or a couple of years later, we see these in everyone's real lives, and I think that robots are here to stay.
Nice. That leads me into my next question. Since this is a trend, what other trends did you see this year, especially compared to what you saw last year?
A huge trend that I saw and everybody is talking about is the presence of Amazon Alexa and ambient computing devices. Alexa was everywhere. So in 2016, they announced that there were more than 3,000 skills on the product. And I think that in 2017, we'll see that double, possibly even triple. And again, with all of the companies presenting at CES and the amount of companies on Alexa, we know that's absolutely going to happen. So you'll be able to talk to your car, talk to your home, talk to your refrigerator. And again, it feels like we're in the future. It feels like we're in the movie WALL-E, and that these are real life right now.
I have a question about Amazon Alexa. We have someone in the Spark office named Alexa, and if she's driving her car and her friend comes in and says, "Hey Alexa, where are we going to eat?" is the car going to respond to her?
This is a real issue. It's funny you say it, because earlier this week in the news, there was a young girl that said, "Alexa, order me a dollhouse." And the mother didn't find out until she got the email from Amazon saying your dollhouse is shipping. And a couple days after that, this was just so crazy that it had made national news headlines, and it was on a broadcast morning show. And when the broadcast morning shows was talking about it, it activated listeners' Alexas, and there's thousands of people that have dollhouses coming to their home now.
Oh my gosh!
It really is a big issue, and there's a lot of talk about maybe adding voice recognition so it knows when the owner is speaking to it, or adding pins so you know if you're shopping you have to enter or speak your pin in order for it to go through with the purchase.
Like a code word, like a word that you would never say in regular conversation, like purple elephant.
Exactly. And another issue too is the reality that the Alexa can control door locks. And so if there's a burglar outside your house and he yells through the window saying, "Alexa, unlock the door." So we really need some sort of voice control or passcodes.
Wow. Yes, that sounds like a whole other conversation that we will have in a future podcast.
I'd love to come back. Another interesting trend was augmented reality and virtual reality, so AR and VR. That was a breakthrough trend at the 2016 CES, and this year we continued to see even more AR and VR. Oppositely, drones were a breakthrough trend at last year's CES, and they were also at this year's CES, but nobody seemed to care. So AR and VR, right? AR and VR really found a way to get better and bigger and cooler and have better graphics and reduce prices for consumers, where drones didn't adapt, and they're still present, but they weren't a trend per se.
Are there any companies you'd like to spotlight in particular?
One company that is a Spark client I was really proud of at this year's CES is called Brilliant. They're in stealth mode, so I can't share too much, but they will be launching later this year, and they're a connected home control device that connects and controls all of the devices in your home, such as your lights, your speakers, again, your front door locks. And it also does work through that trend of Amazon Alexa, so Brilliant is an endpoint. But what's interesting about what they did at CES was because they're in stealth mode, they did not have an official booth and an official presence. Instead, they rented a private suite at the Venetian, where they booked meetings ahead of the conference, had media and partners come in to speak with them there. And this has been a strategy that PR people have been taking for a long time by launching not with an official presence. I just commend Brilliant. I think they did a really good job of doing this and had, even more fruitful responsive than some of our other clients that were on the CES show floor.
Whoa.
Yeah, the CES show floor can be so packed and it can be really hard to get media attention that if you're able to secure these meetings ahead of time in a private area, you might have more success like Brilliant did.
That makes sense. Is there anything else you'd like to add to that?
I look forward to going to CES 2018, and again, this year felt like I was in the future, and so I can't wait to be floored again next year.
Are we going to finally get those self-driving cars next year?
Honestly, maybe.
Thanks a lot for joining us, Christina. I learned a lot, and I hope the listeners did too. But I also want to learn from the listeners. So, you listening right now, please tweet us at SparkPR with your questions. Tell me what you saw at CES. Tell me what you wanted to see at CES, but maybe wasn't there. What is going to proliferate our lives in the coming year? Let me know, and we will see you next time.
Thanks.
Walk out and see the bottom line rise. Spark, we do it right.